Had their daughter return. A letter on the day following the message from the agency brought news that she was dead, and now their only hope for any small happiness at the close of years of suffering lies with you. I was sent to plead with you to return with me at once and make them a visit. Of course their home is yours. You are their only heir, and they would be very happy if you were free and would remain permanently with them." "How do they know I will not be like the father they so detested?" "They had sufficient cause to dislike him. They have every reason to love and welcome you. They are consumed with anxiety. Will you come?" "No. This is for me to decide. I do not care for them or their property. Always they have failed me when my distress was unspeakable. Now there is only one thing I ask of life, more than my husband has given me, and if that lay in his power I would have it. You may go back and tell them that I am perfectly happy. I have everything I need. They can give me nothing I want, not even their love. Perhaps some time I will go to see them for a few days, if David will go with me." "Young woman, do you realize that you are issuing a death sentence?" asked the lawyer gently. "It is a just one." "I do not believe your husband agrees with you. I know I do not. Mrs. Herron is a tiny old lady, with a feeble spark of vitality left, and with all her strength she is clinging to life and pleading with it to give her word of her only child before she goes out unsatisfied. She knows that her daughter is gone, and now her hopes are fastened on you. If for only a few days, you certainly must go with me." "I will not." The lawyer turned to the Harvester. "She will be ready to start with you to morrow morning on the first train north," said the Harvester. "We will meet you at the station at 8. I am afraid I forgot to tell my driver to wait." "You mean your instructions were not to let the girl out of your sight," said the Harvester. "Very well. We have comfortable rooms. I will show you to one. Please come this way." The Harvester led the guest to the lake room and arranged for the night. Then he went to the telephone and sent a message to an address he had been furnished, asking for an immediate reply. It went to Philadelphia and contained a description of the lawyer, and asked if he had been sent by Mr. Herron to escort his granddaughter to his home. When the Harvester returned to the living room, the girl, white and defiant, waited before the fire. He knelt beside her and put his arms around her, but she repulsed him, so he sat on the rug and looked at her. "No wonder you felt sure you knew what that was," she cried bitterly. "Ruth, if you will allow me to lift the bottom of that old trunk, and if you will read any one of the half dozen letters I read, you will forgive me and begin making preparations to go." "It's a wonder you don't hold them before me and force me to read them," she said. "Don't say anything you will be sorry for after you are gone, dear." "I'm not going." "Oh yes, you are." "Why?" "Because it is right that you should, and right is inexorable. Also because I very much wish you to. You will do it for me." "Why do you want me to go?" "I have 3 strong reasons. First, as I told you, it is the only thing that will cleanse your heart of bitterness and leave it free for the tenanting of a great and holy love. Next, I think they honestly made every effort to find your mother, and are now growing old in despair you can lighten, and you owe it to them and yourself to do it. Lastly, for my sake. I've tried everything I know, Ruth, and I can't make you love me or bring you to a realizing sense of it if you do. So before I saw that chest I had planned to harvest my big crop and try with all my heart while I did it. And if love hadn't come then, I meant to get some one to stay with you, and I was going away to give you a free perspective for a time. I meant to plead that I needed a few weeks with a famous chemist I know to prepare me better for my work. My real motive was to leave you and let you see if absence could do anything for me in your heart. You've been very nearly the creature of my hands for months, my girl. Whatever any one else may do, you're bound to miss me mightily, and I figured that with me away, Perhaps you could solve the problem alone I seem to fail in helping you with. This is only a slight change of plans. You are going in my stead. I will harvest the ginseng and cure it, and then if you are not at home and the loneliness grows unbearable, I will take the chemistry course until you decide when you will come, if ever." "If ever?" "Yes," said the Harvester. "I am growing accustomed to facing big propositions. I will not dodge this. The faces of the 3 of your people I have seen prove refinement. Their clothing indicates wealth. These long, lonely years mean that they will shower you with every outpouring of loving, hungry hearts. They will keep you if they can, my dear. I do not blame them. The life I propose for you is one of work, mostly for others, and the reward, in great part, consists of the joy in the soul of the Creator of things that help in the world. I realize that you will find wealth, luxury, and lavish love. I know that I may lose you forever, and if it is right and best for you, I hope I will. I know exactly what I am risking, but yet I say, go." "I don't see how you can, and love me as you prove you do." "That is a little streak of the inevitableness of nature that the forest has ground into my soul. I'd rather cut off my right hand than take yours with it in the parting that will come in the morning. But you are going, and I am sending you. So long as I am shaped like a human being, it is in me to dignify the possession of a vertical spine by acting as nearly like a man as I know how. I insist that you are my wife, because it crucifies me to think otherwise. I tell you to night, Ruth, you are not and never have been. You are free as air. You married me without any love for me in your heart, and you pretended none. It was all my doing. If I find that I was wrong, I will free you without a thought of results to me. I am a secondary proposition. I thought then that you were alone and helpless, and before the Almighty I did the best I could. But I know now that you are entitled to the love of relatives, wealth, and high social position, no doubt. If I allowed the passion in my heart to triumph over the reason of my brain, and worked on your feelings and tied you to the woods, without knowing but that you might greatly prefer that other life you do not know, but to which you are entitled, I would go out and sink myself in Loon Lake." "David, I love you. I do not want to go. Please, please let me remain with you." "Not if you could say that realizing what it means, and give me the kiss right now I would stake my soul to win. Not by any bribe you can think of or any allurement you can offer. It is right that you go to those suffering old people. It is right you know what you are refusing for me before you renounce it. It is right you take the position to which you are entitled until you understand thoroughly whether this suits you better. When you know that life as well as this, the people you will meet as intimately as me, then you can decide for all time, and I can look you in the face with honest, unwavering eye. And if by any chance your heart is in the woods, and you prefer me and the cabin to what they have to offer, to all eternity your place here is vacant, Ruth. My love is waiting for you, and if you come under those conditions, I never can have any regret. A clear conscience is worth restraining passion a few months to gain, and besides, I always have got the fact to face that when you say 'I love' and when I say 'I love,' it means 2 entirely different things. When you realize that the love of man for woman and woman for man is a thing that floods the heart, brain, soul, and body with a wonderful and all-pervading ecstasy, and if I happen to be the man who makes you realize it, then come tell me, and we will show God and His holy angels what earth means by the heaven-inspired word, radiance. David, there never will be any other man like you. The exigencies of life must develop many a finer and better. You still refuse me? You yet believe I do not love you?" "Not with the love I ask, my girl. But if I did not believe it was germinating in your heart, and that it would come pouring over me in a torrent some glad day, I doubt if I could allow you to go, Ruth." I am like any other man in selfishness and in the passions of the body.